Hi, I'm Lou with another episode of My Car Story, and today we're out at Rosemont, Illinois at the greatest muscle car show on the planet, the Muscle Car and Corvette National. And with that, I'm with Gregory, nice to see you, and his dad, Gregory.
Nice to meet you, Lou.
And just for the camera's sake, we'll do this. So gentlemen, we have a car here that your father, your grandfather, has had since new. What kind of car do we have here today?
We have a 1970 Dodge Hemi Challenger RTSE with a Gator green top.
With a Gator vinyl top, and you'll see that option in a second, and it's going to be one of the few times you'll see that option. Have you ever been in this car?
Yes.
And when you're riding in it, what is it?
It's awesome.
It's awesome. I'm going to have you step over here and have your dad come with you. Come on, guys. Let's take a look at this car. Now, this car is all original. And if you like all original cars, well, we found the car for you. So with that being said, this car has all the options on it. Not only that, but some options you don't see. Also importantly, one of the big boxes checked was that one right there. Now this car has a little history behind it. Gregory, tell me about the history while we look at the car. Look at the patina. This was a drag race car. I mean, your dad was known kind of as a drag racer.
Right. Well,
well, yeah.
he actually street raced it. So
Yeah.
that's basically what he used to do with it. So
And it was kind of a legend street race car, and then it went away for a while, right?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it
all
was
right. You're being a little
thing.
humble. I'll be not so humble. But go ahead. So this was like the black Challenger that nobody saw. It came out and beat you
Right.
real fast on the
Right,
race,
right.
And then it was gone. Now let me show you this top. Let me show you the normal vinyl top and the Gator top. This was an option for this car. All right. And we got Challenger kind of halfway there. The RT Africa. There. The dog dish. Look at this. Now the RTSE. That's a high-end option. Tell me about this.
Well, yeah. This is more like the luxury car of the RT. So it was a luxury version of the RT model. So it's more like a upscale luxury car. So it's like a luxury race car.
Yeah. So the luxury race car always enjoyed the all-important fuel filler cap on this. This is great. With the locking 1970s gas cap. And let's go into the trunk, because this will tell a little bit of the history of the car. Let me actually show the back of the car for 1 second. Let me do that. Let me just move over. I apologize. Move over for just a second. I want to let people take in that. And even that stripe on the back, I believe, was that an option? I believe so. Maybe it even came with the SE.
Yeah, I think it. Well, I think the option would be to delete the stripe.
Okay.
So he kept that option.
So let's open this up. So now, your dad's got a little background. Tell us about your dad.
Well, yeah, my dad was a police officer for the Detroit Police for 37 years, and then also part of the 82nd Airborne in the Army for 27 years in Special Forces Green Beret.
Okay. And the Special Forces Green Beret.
Yeah, the 12th. He was served out of the 12th group and the 19th group.
So here's your dad with President Clinton. So how did you end up with the car?
My dad passed away on Christmas Eve in 2015, so I inherited
Of course,
the
I'm
car.
sorry to hear that.
So the car's always been in the family.
And how did it feel like taking Dad? Was that the first time you took Dad's car out? Did Dad ever let you take it out?
Yeah, it's actually the first time. I think it was kind of hard for me at the time because you know, it always sat in the garage, and he loved this car. You know,
Yeah.
he always talked about it, and he talked about dreams of putting it back together and getting it running again.
Yeah.
And it sat for 37 years in storage, so I didn't get a chance to do that with him, and I wish I did.
Yeah. So he's going to have the opportunity when you see him at another time to say, Dad, I got it going.
Right. Yeah.
This is great. So the story, as I understand it, is this was the Detroit race street burner black Hemi that would come out, race, kind of almost underground. I'm not
Right.
saying that your dad was a police officer
That's
that was
correct.
racing all the time, but we can just kind of imagine. And with that being said, then he had to go back into his other life, you know, kind of like Batman, comes
Right.
out, does his thing, and then turns into Bruce Wayne and does stuff like this and shake president's hands and all, you know.
Right.
So that's kind of how that worked. And just all the original tags and stuff
Now
like
that
that.
was for he used to have air shocks on the car that he installed, but that was a aftermarket thing back in the 70s.
Yes, and the holes here for if it would have had the wing on it, things like that. Let's take a look at the interior, shall we?
Okay, yeah,
So, is there anything here I need to know about? Anything? I think I got all this.
yeah. It's just the 2 build sheets,
All right, let's look at the
sticker
build
sheet,
sheets.
and then the travel sheet. I mean,
Yeah. So we're gonna take our time just to make sure we get it. So what was the reaction of people when this car came back out and they saw it with you in it? I mean, were there people in Detroit who were like, "What? That thing's still around?" I mean, what was the reaction?
well, a lot of people thought it was a unicorn, so they didn't think it existed. So when they actually found out that the stories were true, I guess people were just mystified, I guess.
It actually was true. There was a black Hemi, I'm telling you. All right, so here it is. Let's take a look at the interior. What is this?
That's the police association sticker.
Okay. So that's how he get himself out of trouble. No, he was a police officer. He never got in any trouble. Let's just straighten that out right now. I'm having fun. Look at this. Look
Now,
at- Go ahead.
the
You're gonna
reason
tell
why
me-
we have the board there, because there's a hole on the bottom that kind of runs through. And it's just there just so they don't fall through the hole. So,
Well, there are, you know, people obviously, they do a lot of unveiling of cars at this show where people take their cars and they bring them all back to what some people would say might be better than original. Is that the actual mileage, 45,000?
yes.
And that's because it didn't move
And
for
then
so many years.
I put the 73 miles on it. Those are my miles. So I reset it when we got the car, so I know how many miles I drove on it. So then we, you know, can
That's pretty cool. The 8 grand tack. Wow. You know, if that clock would have been working, I would have fell over. You know, after all these years,
Yeah,
I'd have been like, what?
get the clock working.
No, that's okay.
But I think we can get it working.
All right.
So it's just about going back in there and cleaning some connections.
That's an SE option right there. That little head.
Yes.
That little. I want to show that. Yeah, I want to show that right there. That right there is an option. That's on the SE, and it doesn't have the nicer steering wheel too, I think, or something like that with the.
And then there's the rim blow. It works.
Okay.
It's petrified because
Go ahead.
it's stiff. But if in certain spots,
Look at that. The rim blue is still working. Nice radio. That's always an upgrade for a car like this.
you can have the map light on the. If you
Oh, yeah,
if you hit
right
the
here.
Switch.
Right there.
It may come on. Let the toggle switch down there.
Okay.
The reverse light. Yeah.
Gotcha. And the pistol grip shifter. So, like, let me do one more thing here.
Oh, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said, let me do one more thing here.
Oh well.
So when your dad passes, you take the keys and you put your first mile on this car, what were you thinking? Like, was it sentimental, or were you like, I just got to make sure I don't break
It was real sentimental. I think when I drove it, I actually understood how my dad felt about this car.
Yeah,
Like it was kind of like exciting and then sad at the same time.
yeah. It's got, you know, surprisingly for a car this year, it smells good in there. You know, sometimes, I mean, you smell a car from the 70s, you're like, what in the heck has happened in there? Let's take a look under the hood. We can shut the trunk, and we'll take a look under the hood. Look at that. There's the heart of the legend. The Detroit Black Challenger. fire up? Let me hear that idle. Give me a second. That's like music. That's like music, right?
Yeah.
You like that sound?
Yeah.
I like that sound too. Gregory, give it a little rev. Can you press those brake lights for me? All right. Does that center reverse light still work? Nice. All right, we'll shut that down.
Sounds good.
Come on out. Come on out.
Okay.
Step with your dad there, please. Young man. Young man, this may one day be yours. What do you think about that?
Awesome.
That's awesome. Guys, we've heard about the Black Challenger, the mysterious Black Challenger that went away for a while. The unicorn has come out. So fun to tell the story. So honoring to see what you're doing with your dad's car. So nice to meet you both, Gregory and Gregory. Thanks for being on My Car Story.